Hey guys, Matt here. As you can tell, I'm at this awesome RV right now. Anyway, I'm gonna make a quick video about listening. The power and the art of listening is so important these days, and it is the #1 way to be connected. And who doesn't want to be connected, right? Think about this question. In our social media, technology-driven world, how many times do you actually listen to a person when you're having a face-to-face conversation? Listening is becoming rapidly a lost art. And yet it is one of the critical things we can do to learn about the world around us. Unlike the words of a text message, the words from another person only exist for a few moments. We cannot go back and read what the other person said. Staying in the present moment is one of the most important things you can do when you're listening. When you're truly there, you're listening to both the words spoken and the non-spoken language, such as the tone and the facial expressions. You can respond more thoughtfully when you're really listening to the other person in the present moment. Have you ever finished a conversation and could not remember most of what the other person said? Do you find your mind drifting in and out of conversation? Do you find yourself listening to certain words and phrases but ignoring the others? If so, you are not alone. It is more difficult than ever before to stay present and sustain your attention while listening to another person. So when you truly listen, it is often enlightening, insightful, and can open up possibilities that partial listening could not accomplish. So listen up. Hearing and listening are two different things. We often interchange the two terms, but there is a distinct difference between hearing someone and listening to them. When we hear something, a siren, a voice, something around us, we are physically hearing. Incoming sound waves travel through our ears until they reach our eardrum. And then hair cells change these vibrations to electrical signals that are received and interpreted as sounds by the brain. When we listen, we give attention to what we hear. We assign meaning and value to what our brain perceives. For example, when you hear the doorbell ring, your ear does its job and passes the sound stimuli to the brain. Once there, however, your brain says to you, "Doorbell!" and then you add context to the sound. Depending on the situation, you could add a number of possibilities and meanings to the doorbell's chime. Perhaps your best friend arrived for a visit. Perhaps you're not expecting anyone and apprehensive about opening your door at midnight. Or perhaps your doorbell signals that your child wants to come inside for the 10th time in the past hour. The same holds true in conversation. If you are hearing what someone says, you register tone, pitch, and speed of what they are saying. If all you are doing is listening when your mind is elsewhere, you will never get beyond the physical act of hearing to actually know what the other person said. If, however, you are listening and staying present, you are giving your full attention to the other person's words, meanings, and facial expressions. So alright, here's 3 ways to truly listen. Set the intention to not only contribute, but to also receive. That means you allow the other person's words and meaning to truly sink in so that you can understand what the other person is saying. People who only listen to jump in and make a point are only paying attention to their inner dialogue. They are not listening to the other person. Number 2, practice patience. It is important to wait until the other person reaches a natural pause. Often we hijack the conversation because we've lost our patience. Notice when this happens inside you and practice patience. Remember, the conversation is not only about you, but connecting with the other person and truly understanding what they're saying. Number 3, resist the urge to finish someone's thought or interrupt. This goes along with practicing patience. When we assume that we know what the other person is going to say and just jump right in, we are not truly listening. The same goes with interrupting. Interrupting says that your thoughts and involvement in this conversation are not important. If you've ever been interrupted in a conversation or someone finished your thought, you know the feeling. It is perfectly acceptable to ask for clarification if you need more, or to piggyback onto what the other person said when they have reached their natural pause. Staying present and truly listening to another person is a gift. It shows that you honor and respect each other. He or she feels valued, seen, and heard. By truly listening, your presence can add so much more value than just a conversation. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to share the video if you know anyone who might like it. Thank you and have an awesome day.